Hello YouTube, this is Adam here again. It's been a long time since I've done a video for this channel. I've been really busy with moving. I got a new job, new house, lots of projects. One of the projects that needs to be done is upgrading my Wi-Fi situation. I have been using the same Wi-Fi access point for like 8 years or so. It's very old and outdated. So it's finally time to join something a little more modern. We have this Netgear AC2000. This should provide much better coverage and much better performance, throughput, than what I have been using. We'll go into the setup that I have been using with my pfSense box in a minute. This is shipped in access mode, which requires, we have a DHCP server, so that's not a problem. As far as the specs on this unit go, AC2000, Wi-Fi up to 300 megabits per second plus 1734 megabits per second, which I assume is the total throughput, probably 300 per device, and that's the total. And it runs at 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. A couple of antennas. It can be uses a router and connect to the internet. So this can actually be a router, I guess. So that's something. I don't know why they've marketed it as a wireless access point when it also has the ability to work as a router. But I guess we'll see what kind of router capabilities it has when we get into the configuration. I'm of course not going to be using it as a router, it's only going to be an access point. But let's go ahead and cut the plastic open here. I apologize for both the lighting and the camera angle here. I'm working on getting an above table camera mount, but a lot of things going on at once here in the new house. Alright, so opening the box, we have the installation guide. The unit itself, it looks like the antennas are already installed. It does come with a temporary passcode. That's going to be our initial setup stuff. The adapter, power adapter, and one Ethernet cable. And opening up the actual unit. Got this very glossy finish, which is just going to get nasty and gross. This sticker I will stick onto the unit somewhere, I guess, just for future. I don't care if you guys know the passcode because it's never going to be used. I'm sure that's probably, since it's just shared secret, that's probably something that's just generic to every one of these. It actually gives you the passcode. There's already a sticker with the passcode stuck to it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and review this installation guide and move on over to a PC. For many years I've been using this Buffalo WZR-HP-G300NH2 with the WDDR-T firmware on it. It's been working fine for a long time, really had no problems with it. Throughput isn't good, but I generally haven't had that much need for good throughput. That's been increasing a little bit with my new house, hence the upgrade. But people have asked me before what I use with my pfSense box to have Wi-Fi, and this is what I have been using. Alright, so I wanted to record a little before and after here. This is captured from my Lenovo T420, and I apologize for the quality here. I actually had some settings not set correctly on OBS here, and so everything's kind of pixelated and weird. And I apologize for that, but I wanted to get a little before and after for the Wi-Fi. I don't use a lot of Wi-Fi devices. This laptop, my phone, tablet, there's a few things that we use around here, but not a lot. This has an Intel Centrino N, what is this one, a 6205 dual band, so it's limited to 300 megabits per second. It's not going to be using the the AC connection, it's just an N card, but it should give us a pretty good idea of the improvement. And this has an i5 2520M CPU, so this is pretty old laptop, but My mobile computing needs are pretty low, so let's run a speed test here and see what we get starting here. So looks like we're pulling around 15, 17 megabits per second, which is not the best. So, and pretty much anything can max out the upload speed on this connection I have with Comcast. So 16.8 and 9.43, and we will reference back to that again later. All right, so we're going to take this 112 megabyte test file and copy it over just to get a baseline of what we're getting right now. And looks like our download speed is about 3.5, yeah, it's in the mid 3s to 4. It's spiking all over the place, but about mid 3s would probably be the average. So not very fast, not very good. We'll just let this transfer play out here, and I'll include another one afterwards, after the new system's online. All right, so I got the unit plugged in. This is the default SSID. We're gonna go ahead and log in with the default password, and we'll get connected to the network, and then we should be able to access the configuration utility. All right, so we're loading up the online utility for configuring this router, or this access point, I should say. It kind of annoys me that it goes through an online system like this. I'm gonna have to go ahead and create an account real quick, so I'll get that done and be right back. All right, so I was able to log in. I used the two-step verification system that they provide. Annoyingly, it continually asks me to log in, which is annoying because every time I do it, I have to do the two-step verification. I wish that this was designed a little bit better, where it could remember the browser. But you can see it just shows our SSID and our password in plain text there, so I'm gonna have to be careful when I'm doing this, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this updated, and I'll be back. So our settings have been updated, and I'm gonna apply the settings, and we'll have to reconnect to the new network using the new SSID and password, because it just dropped our connection, I believe. Here, yep, it did. So you're gonna have to disconnect and reconnect. All right, so we're just kind of poking around here a little bit. It did update the SSID. It shows my laptop connected here. Again, it does show the password in plain text, which is not my favorite, but we've got the new SSID. Everything is good to go here. So I think we're ready to go ahead and apply the firmware update. Should be a pretty straightforward process, I would think. I'm sure it'll take a couple minutes to complete, but we'll let this go ahead. We're on 1.0.3.2, so we'll see what the new version is here, hopefully in a moment. It looks like 1.0.4.4. All right, so we'll go ahead and apply that and be back when the access point has restarted. All right, so we've got our networks running. It's got an IP address from a DHCP client, the DHCP server. We can see that the 2.4 is 300 megabits per second, and the 5 gig is 1,733. So those are both pretty good speeds. We can kind of poke around here. I'm trying to be careful because there is stuff in here that will reveal information that I don't want revealed. Looks like it does have a fair amount of settings here, routing and stuff. I'm not going to really mess around with any of that, but it can, that's the DHCP settings there, I guess. It looks like there's some LED control settings. Pretty standard stuff, I suppose. I'm not going to mess around with the VPN or static routing or any of that stuff. I'm really not interested. We can check out the logs here. Just shows logins and such there, I guess. And we have access control here, which is pretty neat. I will end up setting this up. I'm going to mess around with it. It'd be nice to have the trusted group of devices that can connect here, and then have a guest network is what I'm going to end up setting up. And only certain devices will be allowed to connect here, just to kind of segment out the network a little bit. I'll probably keep all the video game consoles and stuff on a separate network as well, and keep the two from seeing each other. But turn that on for now. Alright, so we have configured everything I'm going to configure. Let's run another speed test, and you can see the speeds are nearly the maximum for my cable modem. My modem is like about 150 or so megabits per second. I have a new modem on the way. That's going to be another project for another day. But that's a pretty good improvement. Upload speed's more or less the same. Comcast just doesn't have very good upload speeds. It annoys me greatly. I wish they had symmetrical connections, but that doesn't happen with cable. Alright, so we're going to do the test file transfer again. It's the exact same file. See what speeds we get now. Yeah, that's a lot better. It's like 5 times faster, 25, 26 megabytes per second. So that's a pretty big improvement. Not the full capability of this access point, but it's all I really need. Alright, so it turns out you are able to access this through the IP address on the LAN. You don't have to connect to the Wi-Fi. It still goes through their online login system and all that stuff, but at least it is possible to connect directly through the LAN, so that's a big relief. I figured it probably would be. You just enter the IP address. I'm going to set up a DHCP reservation for this, because I'd like it to always get the same address, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I'm sure you can assign a static one, but I generally just assign everything with DHCP now, and have reserved things for servers and stuff. It's just a lot easier, I find. So I did have a few problems trying to connect to the browser-based configuration. I had to actually, after I did the update, I had to actually disconnect from the Wi-Fi and reconnect. It was telling me that I needed to clear the browser cache, but that didn't work. I had to actually reconnect to the Wi-Fi, and then I was able to connect to it. So far, I'm pretty happy with this. Like I said, Wi-Fi isn't really a big priority, but people have asked me what I use in the past with my pfSense, and this kind of answers that question of what I'm using now. So I don't think there's anything else I want to really address with this. I know it's been almost exactly a year since I've uploaded a video. I can't believe that. It feels like how it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and then a year passes. So I have quite a few things in the pike that I'm working on. I have a lot more space in my new house to work, and my new schedule with my new job is a little bit more flexible to allow me to do more of what I would like to do in my time off. So I want to thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're still here, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you soon.